Hello, comrades. It's Premier Rever here, and I am back for another episode in the wonderful city of Revergrad. We have built our university, and it almost bankrupted us. I was paying attention, and I didn't expect to let it get down that fast, but a truck snuck in there to the steel, the import yard, whatever you want to call that, and bought the last load. I really thought I had to stop the construction because I was going to run out of money. So fortunately we didn't run out of money, and probably wouldn't have run out for long enough anyway if it just dipped right below. But the problem is when we're buying power in particular, there is no other power, you know, like if they cut us off from the power, kind of everything stops except for the trucks that are on the road. So hopefully, well, anyway, bad news if that happens. So we have a bit of a crisis looming in that we only have 24 teachers and we have 1,000 educated people. Now, just so you know, unemployed workers happen for a couple reasons. One, there's just all the jobs are filled up, or say the people at this job just can't go find one at the, I don't know, the tennis court. And you know, so you just may have too many people and not enough work. But also, you may have plenty of jobs, but you don't have any education. So if you look, we have 1,000 people that are uneducated. Some portion, and you could actually probably go look through the population and find them, some portion of these people, of these unemployed, are probably uneducated. And worse than that, we have, now another portion of those people are probably just these 800 right here, right? So we're getting to have 200 unemployed people. If we go look at this year, see, our numbers are fine, or at least normal, right? But at the same time, we've got 800 people in the next couple of years, or, you know, period of time, that we need to get educated, and we don't have many teachers. All right, you get the idea. What I want to do is take this house, just because it's the closest, well, it isn't really the closest, but these guys are kind of servicing this, and yeah, maybe I should take one of these houses, but I'm going to take one of these. I'm going to take this one. And I already know that these are our new houses, so we shouldn't have too many people. Yeah, so we don't have too many people in this one. So I want to take a couple people out of here, non-well-educated citizens, and so that gives them about 45. In this house, about 50. Now I noticed that this house also has two educated people, which one of them I probably just transferred. I don't know. So I'm going to relocate the educated people back to this house. And let's see, is there any other? That one. So what I'm doing is just clicking on here and looking for. See, this house has an educated person, so I want to put them in here. Educated people have, at this point, eventually hopefully we'll have enough of them, but any educated person that I find needs to go to, there's the house I was just on, right? Now this is the house with the school teachers, and I think what I want to do, at least temporarily, is let them work at any of the 3 schools. Oh, I can't work there. Why can't I work there? All right, let's finish. Look real quick, looking for. All right, within the bounds of the accuracy of these screens, I think I have all the people, which isn't very many, in this house. So I want to. Let me see if I put a footpath in here. I don't have any kind of footpath. Well, we're gonna have the road coming down this way, I hope eventually. Can I turn that? We're just gonna go right out to the street. Hopefully, does that make the difference? Well, maybe. You know, we're just gonna buy this with monies. Oh, you know what? This was on anyway. Good, I'm glad I was paused. Right, so let's play in a second. No reason we can't play it anyhow. Alright, so that's that. Now can this house... Yes. Alright, so they'll send people to any which way. But what I want to do is I want to up the number of people that are in this house. I thought I just had 4 in there. Alright, well anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to get 2 groups of immigrants. There's my rubles. That'll give us 11 teachers in here. Eventually. Well, not 11 at once, but it'll give us 11 more teachers, so we should have like a decent number of teachers. I'd like to see a teacher on staff most of the time, you know? Alright, well there goes that catastrophe. Well, I don't know, maybe it's not solved yet. We gotta get, you know, we gotta get the professors. There we go. So we got 4 people learning, and it's gonna take quite a while, so I'm not gonna dwell on that. I hope you guys understand. If, you know, just so you know, each person, let's click on this guy, and then let's click on, so it's kind of, there. No, I thought I had them. Just looking at their... There you go. So if you take a look, this person has a 1 education level, right? So that means they have their ABCs. This person has a 2.5. So the more time they spend in the school, or the up until the point they, you know, more time they spend in school, basically, the higher their education level. So as these people come in here, we should see their there's 1.08. So we're already educating people a little bit. Now the problem is, without a proper setup, like I think one of the reasons you have like the dorm, and what you would do is set up like a place for students to just go to school, because I think you focus in on them, where we're kind of doing it, just sort of educating anybody who wants to go there, you could say. So, all right, well, let's see. Hopefully that was enough to stem the tide of you know, education, but we'll have to keep an eye on it, like I said. How's our farms doing? Well, we're farming. One of the things I wanted to take a look at was, remember we had the issue in the other episode about the clothing, and I think we're having an issue here where the food is taking up capacity. I think these two try to balance each other is how the game works. So it's going to stay 40% full between these two things, but because this only has corn, we're keeping a lot of the corn in the silo because that space is being taken up by food. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this down, and then that way, as the food guy comes, he's going to take the food out of the warehouse. He may take it out of here too, but eventually he'll take all this food out of the warehouse, and that'll mean that the corn level will go down. I'm not sure if there's a huge benefit to that, but there's also really not much reason that we need to keep corn here. So the bottom line is, my whole idea of putting this in the middle is nice because it divides it into here, but otherwise there's no particular reason to have it. See, like this guy, you know, there's just no, you're just kind of cutting down on your corn storage, and unless you want to store alcohol or store food, which you have enough of a little warehouse there, you don't really need to do that. Some of these don't have much storage. Like this whole meat operation is pretty low. Now here's another thing. Our voltage is flashing. Why is our voltage flashing over here? It's flashing a little bit here too. Yeah, so the next thing I want to do is definitely build this power plant, by the way. And the main reason is, as we run lower on rubles, I can sell this power off the most easily. So as we're building roads out into the, speaking of which, yeah, so as we're building roads out to here, you know, I want to get a road. I'm just going to keep on keeping on. Yep, they're still building. Good. So we're making progress over here. But yeah, I just want to keep on building road now until we get up to that. Where is it? Oh, it's Mullen or something like that over here. Now, this was a tip that came from Sznendem, so SZNDM or something like that. It was a comment, so this is gives you an idea of how far ahead with the videos. I'm a couple days ahead. But his comment was, and this is, you know, it's just, he had two of them, which are good suggestions. The one is that you can use buildings for leveling. I don't always do it because I feel like it's a little bit cheaty. But at the same time, certainly a very valid way of making an area nice and flat pretty quick. The second one is just a game saver as far as this portion of the game goes. If we look right down the line of this field, right, you know, and you know, let's pick a field. Of course, none of them have crops on it. This one might be a little easier to see on YouTube. So this field's pretty much lined right up with this one. It's not lined up with this one. If we rotate this all the way around, and if you take a look, like if I try to get it lined up, I can't. Say, like, if I come back to this one and put it in the corner, right, I can't line it up. I can't line it up on either field. So let's take another full turn around. Now I can line it up with this one, and I still can't line it up with this one. But we take a third turn around. Now we line up with this one, and again, not this. So in other words, each time you rotate around, it offsets it by like another 5 degrees or something. I don't know the exact number. So if you go around 3 times, you get back to 0. So if you get into one of these situations where you can't get the angle that you want, there's a chance by continually rotating you can get back to that angle. See, like now I'm back on the grid, which, by the way, if we do show wireframe, you know, this is the one in the wireframe, so this is where I'm going to leave it because I don't know. I mean, it's for the most part. Sometimes I don't care, but you know, I do like to be able to line things up with the wire grid there. Okay, so I think that's everything catastrophe-wise. How are we doing with teachers in school? Good. Look, so we got 5 people in there. Well, if we could keep 5 people in there, then we're going to get some of these educated. See, there we go. Now we got 7. So yeah, we just got to keep some of them educated. So, like I said, I'll keep an eye on this. As a matter of fact, I may just keep buying. I may just keep this up to 30 or so. Maybe let it drop a little bit until we start actually getting educated people out of here. So, and we don't have much money to rectify the situation anyway. All right, last thing before I take a break. And by break, I mean keep on building, but off camera, is to come over here and do a little tiny bit of planning now that we're getting out here. As you know, we have our little station at the top there where we have a fuel station. I'd like to put another one of those over here, including the power and whatnot as well. Nothing fancy, but hopefully it won't be in the way in the future. Let's go ahead and get our, let's start with the power and do our wireframe. Yeah, I think I'll, oh, now here's another thing too. While the machines are in progress there, we may not be able to do anything. So we'll just level a little bit of this out a little bit. Like, in other words, I think it was the bulldozer working, so if I tried to do this, we're not going to be able to, I don't know. Oh, they got done. Okay, that's kind of convenient anyway. Good. All right, because the other thing I want to do is just cut down some trees. Yeah, it looks like I was already over here messing. why it does this near. It seems to have a zone of exclusion near anything that's already built. Yeah, so that's fine. So let's come over here and start with the power. Now, I think they should add a substation that just has a switch on it, like every single time almost, you know. They could have, I would use that far more often than I would use the regular one. So I want to come in here and keep this, you know, pretty close to the road. And let's make sure we're not buying it with rubles. And I want to plop this guy down. A substation and spin him. Let's make sure he's in line this way. Yeah, that's red, so just back him off a little bit. He could be close to this. So there we go. So now we'll run power down to here, just like we did over to that one. And then we'll get our gas station in. You know what? Let's do... I want to actually be legit and build... I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. But you can... Yeah, it's hitting that. Okay. We'll go one. All right. Come on. Not on the end. No. All right. We're going to have that be a little bit funny road. And this guy... No. Yeah, I messed that up. All right. Let's get that. Did I delete my substation? No, there it is. All right. So now... No reason to be cheap with gravel road. It's not, which I was. So this guy can come out here, and that guy can go like right there, and that is about the tightest turn you can make. No. So there you go. So that should be connected, and it's, you know, about as tight a turn as you can get. I think might have got a little tighter, but. All right, so now we can get a gas station in so that when these guys get down here and they're thirsty, they can get a Pepsi and a tank full of gas. And another thing we're going to need, or want, is the ability to store some gravel over here. Like over there we just purchase it in, but we need to ship it in over to here, which is going to be a little operation. And in this area... Over that way, I plan on putting our steel mill, you know, we'll have our oil field here, probably our oil production up here. We'll have a town to support such things over this way. You know, this road is probably going to go right on into town, and then we'll have probably have a road out of town that goes this way, right over to that Gateway Love. And I think I'm going to put my, like right up in here, it looks like a really nice spot for a gravel thing. Like we got some nice exposed cliffs. It'll be, you know, as we bring our stuff down into Gateway Love, you know, we can kind of distribute things like gravel, and it won't, I think it'll be a good location. You know, unfortunately, you know, we could probably make cement here and then ship gravel so that we could actually make concrete and whatnot at separate concrete plants. Like I think I'm going to need to build a concrete plant here, and then ship cement up, if that makes sense. So that way we won't have to ship in all the concrete for like these plants here. So, but we're still going to want to ship gravel, right? We're going to need to ship gravel and cement, whether we have a cement place or not. So we're definitely going to want a small aggregate for that. Now, okay, where is my storage? Oh, it's not here. All right, let's go over to here. I know we can get it other places. Conveyors could have got it. All right, so here's small aggregate storage. Now, having said that, you know, it's like I want the output to be where I think I would build a cement plant. And, you know, a cement plant doesn't take up a lot of room. And also, you know, an asphalt plant, I guess we could ship bitumen here, right? We might have to have a tank and all that stuff. And eventually we'll have bitumen here. So this will be a good place for an asphalt plant, but we won't have any gravel. You get the idea. All right, so let me level this slightly. And I'm just going to move this guy around and sort of cheaty level up a nice spot for him. So this is be the incoming. That would be the outgoing. So we better put our incoming in to make sure we're not. Now we got to go back to the other. Let's go back to the conveyors page where we have everything we need. So we need truck unloading. Yeah, that'll fit. So let's put our truck unloading. You know, I'm going to be a little bit rebellious just because it's. Oh, no, I don't know which area it's going to come from. Eventually, it's going to come from the other side. This is fine. All right, so now let's get our small aggregate storage. Up on a little perch there, but that's okay. Kind of keeps it in line with the hill. We might raise whatever's over here up. Who knows? So now let's just make the conveyor attach because I'm a big fan of that. So here at this point, I'm not going to do anything. Well, we really probably should just place the cement plant, huh? And first, I think I want to place one of these. So it looks like it would be in line with about here. Now let me. I just want to lower this so it's a little bit more in line with the rest of the that plant there, and I think, or maybe even just a little lower. Sizemde also made a comment about I worry about flat too much. Yeah, that some of it's just, you know, at some point it's not just about efficiency. It's about making it look the way you want it. You know, it's like my sandbox kind of thing, and I want to play in my sandbox. You know. All right, so I'm just going to push back so it's. Yeah, it's still kind of up there, isn't it? I think that looks fine though. All right, so if that were to go in, it would need one of these. No, why? I say, why don't you think it goes from A to B? All right, so that would be that. Not going to worry about all this too much. I just want to make sure I don't build something here and put it, you know, this is more like a planning stage kind of thing than. All right, so we would put potentially not a cement plant, sorry. We would tend to put a concrete plant. Yeah, that would work, wouldn't it? Yeah, let me give it a little aesthetic smoothie. Just because in real life, dirt doesn't attach this well, you know? Trust me. All right, there you go. Especially in the mountainous region where you might have rains and everything else. All right, so we would have a cement plant wherever it went to. That's an asphalt plant. Yeah, we probably need one of those as well, but let's. Unfortunately, well, let's think about the road situation here, huh? Yeah, but I don't know where my bitumen would come from. All right, right, so let's do the cement concrete plant first, because I'm not really worried about asphalt too much at this moment in my life. Though it would be nice to build with asphalt, wouldn't it? From the beginning for our main town road. But we can ship that in. It's not like... There you go. So now we don't need to build that, but we'll have, you know, the space designated for the concrete plant. And asphalt, yeah, let's hold off on asphalt. But again, it's nice that we have this three-way divider because, you know, if this is the road into town, chances are I don't want to put too much stuff on here because leave space for the oil wells. So I'll probably bring the, you know, some of the refining kind of things and tanks down into here, which means it might make sense for like the asphalt plant to eventually be here. But let's just see where all that falls out at a later date. So let's go back to here real quick because those things being white is annoying me a little bit. All right, so now we have those conveyors. The other thing we'll probably need at some point, or possibly need, is a truck unload. But at this moment, we can probably get it just from right here. So what I will do is, I'm not going to hook up the road to this, and you'll see why in a second, because I'm going to actually delete all of these connections here because I want to make this like one road job. Oh, speaking of road jobs. Let me do this. Oops, I don't want to delete anything else. Be careful with delete in this game. Yeah, that's fine. That'll be in the way if I don't delete it. All right, now that I've deleted that, what I want to do is assign these guys. Oh, I won't be able to level, will I? Give me one more second. I still have enough road, I think, to do what I want to do. All right, so this is a gas station. We've got the ability to make some concrete up. We're going to drag some gravel over here painfully. And then we are going to, now this is going to mess me up if I don't fix it a little bit, at least enough to place this building. So the next thing we're going to want is a construction yard. Maybe not the next thing, but a thing we're going to want. Now this is where, watch this. This is a good example of why I flatten. See, like right now, I can't get this guy any closer to that because you have those little white things. I'm going to come up here and like flatten to the road level. I want to lower. Well, no, I'm going to flatten. Let me lower first. Cut into this hill. Oops. Quite a bit. And that's okay. Sorry. Yeah, I want to make it about level with its own driveway. Let me raise this up. Yeah, so that's the most I can raise it anyway. But I'm gonna, sorry, I'm doing this backwards. I'm feeling pressured. Stop pressuring me, guys. It's just not right. Don't pressure me. All right, so that's kind of level enough. Watch this. I don't know if you noticed before, but there was like 3 bars, and I couldn't get that in there that close. But by making it more flat, you know, it can't build due to infrastructure, but I'm not, like, there we go. Oop, I'm too close this way. See, we can get a lot closer. There's less of those bars, so keep that in mind. Now, I don't want to actually build it right there because I want to step back to, like, here and use the building level trick. Okay. Make sure you don't click through onto other buildings if you destroy it the other way. Now this, I want to, I might leave that. I think it fits with the road there a little bit. So the road will be changed potentially. Yeah, I think that's fine. You know, like the bank, the road's going up. All right, so I think that's, oh no, one more last thing. We need a small storage area for open yard kind of stuff. Can we squeeze that in? Yeah, that's not bad right there, is it? Let's see. Oh, look, we can almost, maybe, can we use our leveling trick now, or our rotating trick? The greatest YouTube comment I've ever gotten. All right, hopefully this doesn't mess up our building of this road, because I know they're working on it right now down this far. Oh, that's right. We didn't assign it because we wanted to use the level tool. Good. So what I'll do is combine, delete that and that, and we'll delete this. And the reason for all that deleting is we're going to come in back to the road tool and put it back in, and this is going to be especially key as we are building from, you know, like our construction crew's all the way up there and has to go get materials. So this is now, if you notice, one building job. Each one of those sections is one assignment instead of having like 17 different little assignments, which has been a big crash. But I did notice, I don't know if they fixed something. I didn't even notice an update, but I haven't been crashing like left, right, and sideways doing this, and knock on wood. Yeah, hopefully I don't continue to, you know, hopefully that continues. So there we go. So let's, well, we're not paused. We don't have much money, but at least it's recovering. Nope, not the dumper. Give me the Quonset hut there. And let's assign these guys a construction. So at least somebody else is doing something around here. And there we go. I think that's everything we need to get like a little mini, you know, a little mini thing. Now, I'm going to build the same thing up here, and I may do that off camera, you know, at that point. So just be aware that I may come up here, and I'm probably going to take here. Let's do the road planning. So let's see, where's a good place? So if our town ends up like kind of here where it's semi-flat, which it doesn't need to be, but let's assume that this would be the out extents of it. Like I would come in, probably come down this hill right here. So we got these rocks. Look, we got kind of a natural path right down there. Where's Gateway Love? Yeah. Here, you know what? I'm going to pause because more quickly than you realize those go away. Which is kind of nice that they go away too, but it's also nice they leave their, like you see that you can pretty clearly see the trail of the road blazing that I did. So we would come in. Where's Gateway Love? Yeah, probably. I don't think there's no reason not to just come in straight. Is that line straight? Straight enough for government work, right? Yeah, so that's actually a pretty straight path to it. You know, the north side of town. I consider this north towards the Soviet, and east, you know, would be Soviet, and then west and to some degree south is that's not really true depending on what state you're in. Then again, we do have them on both sides, so that means we must be on the west side of almost in middle Europe, you know. Okay, so I think you guys get the idea. So I may end up building these roads and putting in another almost duplicate as per the scene thing here, you know, though I might not build the concrete plant. No, I'm not going to build the concrete plant in here either. And then we'll have to see where the money and the people are, you know. So good. We're getting more educated people. Let's see what this year looks like. You know, You can't tell. Well, there you go. Yeah, it's certainly not climbing drastically. So at least, I don't know. Hopefully we have a hold on it, and I'd love to see when this number of educated goes up. That means we're pumping them out of our university. So there you go. All right. Well, I'll be back for more planning, but I want to get that power plant built, which is just really a matter of sitting here and clicking these buttons and, you know, getting this built and then watching the money go up. And then I'll build this. And so I'm thinking, like, while this is building, you know, I'll end up, depending on the timing, building this road and maybe even starting to set up gateway love out there. So, all right. Well, it's been kind of long, you know, for the first segment of the episode. So let me cut it here and then come back when that stuff is built, and that might be the end of the episode. And I'll let you know how our students are learning or not. All right. Talk to you guys in a little bit. Comrades, Revergrad is now the proud owner of its first ever coal-powered plant. So we don't have it all up and running yet. The last part needs to be put together, which is the conveyor from our coal to get coal in. But in the meantime, even, we just got a bus stop built not long ago. We already have some passengers. We want no passengers, we want workers. I went ahead and bought an American bus, or not American, German bus, because I could do it with American dollars. A little bit expensive, but it's better to do with dollars at this point. So anyway, let's set up a route for this guy, which would be to go from here to here, and then we might as well just start him up. And what we're going to do is add the power plant. And what I also want to do is make sure that the power plant gets even as much as like 50% priority. How's that sound? So like we definitely want to make sure we have enough people going to the power plant, because otherwise there's a slaughterhouse. You know, they're going to take 50 people. They're going to take 50. So let's even... I'm even going to reduce this down to like 30 for now. So they won't take any more than 30. And then our power plant can take up to 20. So hopefully that balance there will definitely throw more people to the power plant. So what we're doing. Now the next thing I want to do, everything seems to be going along well with the coal mill, the coal mine. However, I'm not too worried about it. I mean, I'd rather have people go to the... So we're going to add 2 houses worth of people. And these are... I might even add more. So there we go. So now we have 2 house loads worth of people that are going to be going there. And they should be getting on our bus eventually. And what was the other thing I needed to do? Oh, purchase. So what I want to do here is, if the coal power plant ever runs out of coal, because I'm not 100% sure, we're going to auto purchase, and you know, well, there we go. So we're auto purchasing. Now, is it? Yeah, no workers, so it's not running, which is kind of actually good, because we don't have any power lines hooked up. Which we're going to have to pause everything for the power lines, and I don't really want to do a bunch of power line work until I at least have a sense that, there we go, we got 4 workers. Not an impressive number, but that was just, I think, the first bus load. So I think we'll let another bus load come in. Yeah, 21 tons of coal per day. I'm not sure that's enough to keep the brickworks, but the brickworks is also kind of backed up, so you know, we'll see what happens when we let her loose, so to speak. So there goes our final conveyor. So we might as well, now let's get the coal hooked up. Let's take a look at the power lines and kind of get ready. Yeah, so if we do a small power line, at least one small power line right to here, right? Where do we just backfeed with a switch?
And I think we're going to try to backfeed compared to the way we have been coming. But we needed a big line to do all of this, didn't we? So it's not the best idea. And the other thing I want to do is get a big line up over to here, which I may be better off going around this way. But the big line's going to cost us mucho dinero, so I don't even want to set that up, because I will pay for these with cash as we go, just so it gets all done. Doesn't disrupt things too much. I know that's kind of cheaty, but and the other thing is every time I go to build them, it has in the past at least said, you can't build that. It's not attached to the road. So, alright, so are we done yet? No. What are we waiting on? We wait on people. There's more people for you. Alright, I see a whole lot of them. I think we need to get them a walking path. That's something we can do. The wrong button. That's it. I don't think we can really make that any better, can we? We could maybe do... those power lines are blocking us from... Yeah, no, I mean, we could... do something like this, but I don't think they would take that route if I went across there. Well, we'll just see how it works out. We got 17 people, so then we have coal. Okay, so let's pause it and think this through. So really, I would need to run a big power line, which might just be a smart idea, over to here. Yeah. Let's, oh geez, deleting this thing is going to be a nightmare. Let's go back to power lines, medium. Not that we need it to be on them. It would be nice if you could, you know, a lot of games you can select. There we go, didn't delete anything else. So we probably can delete this one. We can delete every other. There we go, we didn't delete anything else, I don't think. Just make sure it's like a bullet. Make sure it doesn't go through the wall and clip something else. I'm going to delete this one. It's safer. This one. Alright, so there we go. So that should be enough to put in a medium switch, which would go kind of like this. So we just, now I'm not going to auto build with dollars because we can always choose to later. I don't want this thing to be too close to box me in with other wires. Yeah, so let's do it like this. There we go. So what we'll do is come out of here with a big one. Let's come straight out like a pole. The chances of anything small going this way, I want to make a big one go that way. Let's cancel that. We can always change this around pretty easily. So I'm going to keep this one wide, so to speak. Hopefully we can make that turn. Did I just do a double? I just did it much more expensive than it needed to be. Sure that, yeah, say it's too tight. So let's there we go. Alright, now this can't be two different kinds of lines. It doesn't need to be. I don't think we need that much power to this one. And we need to get a bigger line back from, still has a line right there, which is going to be, look at that stupid setup there. Yeah, didn't delete anything else. Alright, so we can't. Can we go this way? That was the way we went. So we just have to get one. Right there. What they'll give you. And we can jump across the road. Where is our switch? Okay, so we wanna, let's just come to like right there. And then in. So that should be power coming back into here, which is good because it'll feed into that. Then our issue is these. So I don't think we're going to get another one across there. Can we get a switch in here? Let's bulldoze that guy. Yeah, looks like we can. So now we have the big power lines with the switch. We have this switch not really doing anything, is it? So let's bulldoze some real lines now. Yeah, so we're gonna do whatever we have to do to get our. See how it deleted all of that, which is good in this case. See, so if you're not real careful, like if I come up here and I'm not shooting like an area effect. See, if I tried to shoot that one without getting at the right angle, it's going to delete. It's a little delete happy game. And yes, we don't want this attached. Okay, so now what we need is this substation powered, which could be piggybacked, right? We could do another switch. Is that gonna, I don't really want to run a power line right through the middle of this. Even though, so we'll just use that one. It's a little, is that a tiny one? Okay. Yeah, so now, I think what I'm going to do is take this line, let's take it just across the street. Even though it's a little bit wonky. Come up kind of behind these buildings. That way I don't end up having to move it in. So I don't think it's going to make that. Let's just do this one. Not perfect, but there you go. So that should get us power back to here. And we got power to this one, and then we just need to get another switch here, right? So this is why it's nice not doing it with actual powers. Did I just delete something else? Why is that red? So what I'll do is put this guy in. Smaller one, can we make that time? Yeah. Alright, so that should be that hooked up. So I don't think we're missing anything. I think we should be all on our own power, and we are connected to this so we can sell it back. Right. And And if we're not selling it back, I think it should feed back through here fine. Alright, how much is that going to cost us? 31. That doesn't include the switches. Let's do it. Alright, so that was 31. Let's just play it till it runs our money down. Okay, so those are built. 2,000. That's that one. This one. This one. I think that's it, right? Just playing it. I like taking it down to the bottom on our money, don't I? Alright, so I think that's... Let's see, does this have power? Let's just make sure. And if each of these substations have power, I think we'll be alright. There's one more someplace. Let's check up here just to make sure. Yep, that has power. So something went right. So let's hit play and see what happens. Alright. We are... using... We're not buying coal. Let's set it for purchase just in case. So if we get below that little amount, it'll just keep buying it, so that at least that won't be our problem. Now our current number of workers is a bit disconcerting. Number of workers waiting 7. Yeah, that's not enough. Hopefully that'll be the low ebb, right? Alright, well there we go. So now that we take our chances, are we producing enough power? 1.2, and what are we doing here? Our money is going down like faster than ever. Why is it going down so fast? What is causing that? Go down that fast. Just like buying power now like we never did before. Alright, so let's turn off export mode. Well, let's see, do we get more people? Come on, get more people. Alright, we got 8. Alright, let's see what happens if we put this on. Brownout issues. No, we're up. I think. Well, why is our money still going down steadily? Try about 80. I don't know. Uh-oh, the coal plant's now on fire. Come on, fire company. Where's the fire company? Hopefully he's in range. Are you not in range? Tell me you're in range, please. Please go put out my coal plant, please. See where he is on the road. Okay, there you go. I forgot he didn't actually leave the station. I'm thinking, oh, he's not leaving. Please put out my coal plant in time. Progress of fire, injured citizens. Yeah, I don't have an ambulance. I don't have a hospital, which we'll work on. There you go. can you handle? Okay, it's going back down. Get 7, get more firefighters in there. I don't know if you can handle that alone, can you? Is it worth buying another fire truck? It's going down. Alright, so let's take a look at this situation here. Our money's going up, but then I think because we just sold stuff at the... Yeah, we're putting out 2.6 megawatts. Now we have all the people, so hopefully, I don't know if we're going to be able to maintain that or not. I'm not sure why that voltage is fluctuating that much. We're getting her under control. Good job, guys. Good job. Let's take a look at our budget, because in some ways that's the easiest way. So we want to look at exports. Yep, look, exporting power. Excellent. So that means we're making it, we should be consuming it in-house first. So within the bounds of electrical issues, yeah, no, we're, you know, I think we have enough electricity. I don't know how long that'll last, but you know, see, when this drops down, I'm not sure if we're going to have enough. But let's see what we look like on our... I don't know why that's fluctuating like that. Let's just take this down to be on the safe side, even if we're not selling enough. Western countries, import. Yeah, power has stopped. Good. Okay. Well, there you go. We have a power thing. We have our own power. So hopefully we can just... Hopefully we'll be able to maintain it without dropping off the people too much. But we got quite a few heading over there. Last thing before I end the episode, which is getting long in the tooth, is I have this little setup over here. And it looks like I need to assign him another assignment. So we have a little construction. About the only thing he's got going for him is this small aggregate thing. So that's the only thing he's attached to, so he can lay gravel roads. So while I'm talking, let's get this guy, we'll get him building up here. So it's what we're doing is I have a couple of the extra tow trucks. I bought 2 extra at some point, probably for this, is they're hauling stone up over to here, and then these guys will work out of here. So we actually have a little working construction thing. I was going to build a construction thing like over in this area, but then these guys could cover it enough so I could level ground, and so we'll get another construction thing someplace in here that makes sense. So we're going to have our gravel plant, well, probably down here, but our gravel mines up here, and then, you know, the ore crusher thing there, and then who knows, we'll have to decide on, you know, do we have bitumen over here so that we do asphalt and concrete here and then just ship it back, you know, to do the construction here. I think that makes the most sense. Chemical refinery, I think I've said that enough. Steel mill. But that'll be for the next episode, and that plan on that, you know, we'll get probably the steel, just because the steel price has been killing me. All right, I'm happy. Oh, one last thing, real quick. I've turned down the number of teachers because I think we're getting too many educated people. You know, you go from too many to not enough. Like, you don't want too much of your population to be university educated, then you don't have people for all the regular jobs. So I'm trying to find a balance there. Like, if we do this year, you can see the educated people still kind of on the rise, but I'm hoping that hits a bit of a peak. I may even turn down the university. But on the bright side, there it is. Again, I don't know if you guys can see that chart. Like, you can see the uneducated people has dropped pretty significantly in the past, over the course of last year or, so, or 9 months, that you can see on that chart. So we're in pretty good shape. Like, we're past the bad spot. Like, if we come here and look, we had a, you know, big rise in the number of uneducated people from last year. So we got past that. Our university's working. I did also build this, which we don't have any students in here right now, but you know, if it comes a time that you want to kind of force students, this will speed up getting them designated to go to school all the time, as opposed to, oh no, we got another fire. Oh Lord. Get on it, guys. We got a busy day here. I have had a couple fires, but nothing like today. Jeez Louise. All right, how are we doing with workers? 14 workers. Okay, so we seem to be in pretty good shape. Our coal is going down. That's not overly great, but is that because, yeah, we're a little low on coal workers. Another good thing, just so you guys know, is, oh, and here's a little hint. I keep saying another little thing, but we will end this very shortly. If you come to the lists here, I found it to be pretty helpful to come over to this buildings list, residential, and you can like look right down and see like who's got like a lot. And I don't know if you can tell, but like this guy, oh, that's a prefab. But like this guy has very few, right? So I found this one that's maxed out. And which one is this one? I'm going to take away from my, that's not it. This one. Okay, so that's not one of the ones I'm worried about keeping the teachers in. So we can just take, let's go with this one. That's this, oh, we've got another fire. Good Lord, what is going on here, guys? Need some fire prevention. So we can take a few people out of that and put them into this one. So at least we're not maxed out. Yeah, man, these guys are like from one call to the next. Get on it. They are the men. They earn their pay this time. Anything else? Is like a meteor shower happening or something? Good Lord. All right. Well, I'm glad we had a fire company. We'd have lost the coal mine. That would have been upsetting for a number of reasons. Not that we want to lose a house full of people either. So anyway, we're not busting at the seams, but we're getting there, which is good because I think, you know, in order to make this happen over here, we're going to need to build a little town first. So I will come back and we'll start laying out a town over there, but everything's going well. We're making progress, and I'm really happy that we have power. I think that's going to make a pretty big difference in our monthly budget. Yeah, we are on September 2nd. How are we doing? We're in the negative. What are we importing? Oh, chemicals. Yeah, so that would be that's fine. I don't mind buying chemicals. And electronics, apparently we're getting a load of electronics in. And so we're still buying gravel. So this, you know, again, chemicals mean converted to clothes means making money. It doesn't mean we don't want to make them ourselves, but we're a ways off of that. So. All right, the promised end is now here. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will keep an eye on our money. We got all 26,000, but we got a power plant, so happy days are here. So I will talk to you in the next episode. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.